Hello and welcome back to the Best Foot Forward Shoes studio. My name is Harrison Cable. Thank you so much for joining us today. As you saw by the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be doing a little bit of a recap of the New Balance Grey Days releases. Now, if you don't know, Grey Days is a bit of a celebration that New Balance have created, kind of in the same kind of way as Air Max Day celebrates the Air Max from Nike. This is a celebration of all things New Balance using a color that has become kind of synonymous with New Balance, which is grey. So they're releasing a ton of different silhouettes, all in a kind of similar grey theme. They're not completely grey, but they have an overall grey tone to them. That kind of ties them all together and brings them into the New Balance family. So of course, I'm not going to leave you in the lurch. I'm going to be chucking all of the photos up here. And of course, it is the middle of May, so some of these shoes already have released. I will chat about that, and I will give you a release date for the shoes that are coming up. There are still a ton of exciting different silhouettes, so let's dive right into it. First up, we have the 1000 model. Now, this is pretty much done in an all-over silver shimmery pattern. New Balance have moved to more of a shiny patterns on their 1000 models. I saw a purple, I saw a blue. I did a review on a blue. If you did want to check that one out, it is just up here, but go there after watching this video. The 1000 again has been a resurrection from New Balance in the last couple of years, and they've done it in multiple different colorways, but this nice shiny gray one I'm definitely a fan of. This was released on May the 1st. This was $150 US, and which is around about $230 Australian. So I will be putting conversions for all of these because, of course, if you can't tell, I am Australian and I think about everything in kind of that US to Australia conversion. On the same day, May the 1st, the 9060 was also released, a new silhouette in about 2022 when it was released, for the same price, $150 US, $230 Australian. And as you can see by the big chunky sole on this shoe, this is a walker's dream because the cushioning on this shoe is amazing. I've had a couple of pairs of 9060s. I see this shoe everywhere. It's super popular when it comes to malls. Although this shoe in this colorway, I'm not a huge fan of because I feel like I've already seen it. I don't really feel like I'm getting anything new with this colorway. I've seen a ton of pretty much white all over colorways, which this shoe is. There's not a huge amount of gray on it, but I think this one will still be very popular. The next one is not going to be very popular, I don't think, but it is very striking looking. It is the MT10, which is done in this really nice shiny colorway. This is a minimal, almost barefoot style trail running shoe with a Vibram sole, so it's very made for purpose. And this gray colorway is going to be perfect for, getting it dirty. It's not going to be a totally white colorway, so you can get it dirty and clean it off and not show all of the dirt that you're going to be seeing when you run on the trails. This is a really niche shoe. I don't really see this one being very popular, but it is still looking very, very cool. Another one on May the 1st that was released was this 740 model. Again, this is a very general release shoe. I feel like I've seen this colorway already. It is very tonally gray with the mesh and the suede, but I don't feel like I'm getting anything groundbreaking from New Balance on this 740 model, although this is going to be very popular. Again, like the 9060, I see the 740 everywhere when it comes to shops or sporting events or just in the general public. I see this shoe all the time. And this one will be going for $110 US and $180 Australian. So dropping slightly below that tier of the 1000, the 9060, the M10, which were all around the $150 US. So you're dropping it down about $40 here for this what is, to be honest, a cheaply constructed shoe. Dropping even further down, you have the T500, which is kind of New Balance's, I suppose, crossover between lifestyle and dressy sort of shoe. This is a very simple constructed shoe, and I actually really like this one. This is very tonal, very gray, and I actually really like the blue hits on the tongue and also the black heel tab. This is actually a sneaky pickup for me. I might grab this one. The nice aged midsole on this shoe as well. Very classy, very good if you're working in an office or something like that. And of course, with New Balance, everything is very comfortable. So this one is an absolute winner for me, the T500. Moving on to a little bit more performance, we've got some women's and men's specific runners here. You have the women's 1080 V14, which is bumping straight up into that higher price point of $170 US, $270 Australian. These also released on May the 1st. You have the same price range on this Fresh Foam trainer, which I'm not a runner. Unfortunately, I can't give you a huge amount of expertise when it comes to cushioning on these shoes, but from what we know from New Balance, the Fresh Foam technology is absolutely outstanding, and this is going to be incredible for any sort of running purposes that you have, although they are going to be slightly elevated in price, so you got to think about that when you're getting these shoes. But Performance shoes are of course going to be a little bit more expensive. Now let's get to the meat and the potatoes of this episode. What I mean by that is that these are the shoes I feel that are going to be the most popular and most sought after. So on May the 14th, the 1906L is going to make a return in this silver suede colorway. This is going to be sold for $160 US or $230 Australian. And this one is going to absolutely fly off shelves. The predominantly silver one, which I already have, was very popular. And of course, this one being a similar sort of style with a very gray tonal suede is going to be very popular. The 1906L always sells out, and this one is going to be no different. So that is May the 14th. Coming up on May the 22nd, this is a brand new one, the New Balance Absorb 2010. This is a brand new silhouette, which a lot of people are very excited to get their hands on. They have already released one colorway of this shoe, and this is going to be going for $160 US or $230 Australian, very similar to the 1906L. You're expecting some mid to average level quality on the materials. You've got some suede, you've got some leathers, you've got some diamond style mesh, and of course the Absorb technology is going to make this very comfortable. I really like the aged yellow midsole on this shoe. I'm really excited to see the 2010 in action and see what other colorways they give us. So this one, as following up from the original, is looking very, very nice. Also on May the 22nd, we have an almost Samba-like shoe. This actually reminds me a lot of the SL72 from Adidas. This is the 471, and I really, really like this. This is probably, in my mind, this is the best one that I've seen from this, and it also happens to be the cheapest. So this is going for $100 USD, and which is $170 Australian. And man, I actually really, really like this. It's a low profile, almost football inspired shoe. It's very 2025. It's very fashion forward. It's affordable. It looks premium. Of course, with New Balance, it's going to be comfortable, like I keep saying. The kind of clear outsole on this one, I'm really, really liking the look of the 471, and this is definitely going to cop this one. And then finishing it off, we have the granddaddy of them all, the most expensive one. This one is going to be released on May the 29th. This is the 1300 model, exclusively made in Japan. This is retailing for $330 US, which is $500 Australian. So some people might see that price point and think, what are you giving me with this shoe? Are you giving me plate gold? Are they made of steel or something? But no, New Balance has had a huge presence in Japan, and this shoe is retailing for this huge high price point because it is meticulously made. And if you know anything about, Japanese workmanship and the care that they take in these shoes, this is an absolute premium shoe, getting the best of the materials. This is a shoe also that I will definitely not be able to get because of the hugely expensive price point, but it is one of those shoes that I'm definitely appreciating a little bit more. I've kind of learned to do that with shoes where I've kind of appreciated them more than having to try and get every shoe. Like if I was trying to get all of these grey day shoes, I'd be running in like the $2,500 Australian. Like if I'm trying to get all of them, it's just clearly not possible. And also, like, you're going to be limiting yourself to that grey colorway. I like the kind of loud sneakers, and although the grey colorways are very nice and tonal, I need a little bit more color in my life. And I think if I was to just exclusively stick to these colorways, I would be very boring. No shade to anyone who just loves wearing grey. It's just not me. But I would love to hear what you guys think about this list. You can hit me up on my Instagram just down below. You can DM me. I love to chat about shoes, of course. Let me know what pickups you've got so far from the New Balance Grey Days collection, whether you've already got some or you're going to get a couple that are coming out, like myself, like the 471, like I spoke about before. It's a very exciting slew of colorways that they're giving us for this month of May, and I'm excited to do a little bit more content like this where I'm just chatting to camera, kind of talking about shoes. I already do a podcast, so I love to chat about shoes. If you want to watch some of those episodes of the podcast, the link is just up here, so if you're keen, check those ones out. I really do appreciate everybody for watching. Catch you next time. Have a good day.